Let me guess. You have goals. You have plans. You know what you should be doing. But instead, you're scrolling, procrastinating, starting strong and burning out fast. And somewhere along the way, you started calling yourself lazy. But what if I told you, laziness is not the problem? In fact, real laziness, true, I don't care and I don't want to try laziness, is actually rare. Most people who think they are lazy are exhausted, overwhelmed, disconnected, are stuck in systems that quietly drain their motivation every single day. So today, we're going to break this down. Not with hustle culture nonsense. Not with just wake up at 5 a.m. advice. But with the real, psychological, neurological, and emotional reasons your motivation keeps disappearing, and what to do about it. Part 1. Why laziness is a lie. Here's the first truth most people don't want to hear. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel guilty. Lazy people don't lie awake at night thinking about everything they should be doing. They don't make to-do lists they never finish. They don't watch productivity videos hoping something will finally click. Guilt, frustration, and self-criticism are signs that you care. What's happening instead is this. Your brain is protecting you. When motivation drops, it's often not because you don't want success. It's because your nervous system associates effort with pain, failure, or overload. So it pulls the emergency brake. And that feels like laziness. Part 2. Motivation is not a personality trait. One of the biggest myths we're taught is that motivation is something you either have or don't. That some people are disciplined, driven, or naturally productive. That's not how motivation works. Motivation is state-dependent, not character-dependent. It's influenced by your sleep, your stress levels, your emotional safety, your sense of progress, your environment, your beliefs about yourself. When those things are off, motivation doesn't disappear because you're weak. It disappears because your brain doesn't see a clear, rewarding, or safe reason to engage. Part 3. The hidden motivation killers. Let's talk about what's actually stealing your motivation. 1. Chronic mental overload. Your brain was never designed to track dozens of goals, process constant notifications, compare itself to thousands of people online, make non-stop decisions all day. When your mental bandwidth is maxed out, your brain goes into energy-saving mode. It prioritizes short-term comfort, familiar habits, easy dopamine. That's why scrolling feels easier than starting. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain is overloaded. 2. Emotional burnout. Burnout isn't just about working too much. It's about working without feeling rewarded, seen, or aligned. You can be burned out from a job you hate, goals you didn't choose, constant pressure to be better, feeling behind no matter how hard you try. When effort stops leading to emotional payoff, motivation collapses. Your brain learns, why try? It doesn't change anything. 3. Fear disguised as procrastination. This one's uncomfortable, but important. A lot of laziness is actually fear. Fear of failing, succeeding and being judged, not living up to expectations, finding out you're not as good as you hoped. So instead of facing that fear, your brain delays. Procrastination isn't avoidance of work. It's avoidance of emotion. Part 4. Dopamine has been hijacked. Let's talk about dopamine, because this is huge. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. It's the motivation chemical. It's what makes you want to pursue something. The problem? Modern life floods your brain with cheap dopamine. Social media, short videos, notifications, endless entertainment, instant gratification. Your brain adapts. Slow, meaningful progress, like learning, creating, or building, starts to feel boring by comparison. So when you try to do something important, your brain says, this doesn't hit the same. Again, not laziness. It's conditioning. Part 5. You're trying to be motivated without feeling safe. Here's something most productivity advice ignores. Motivation doesn't thrive under constant self-criticism. If every attempt comes with, I'm so behind, why can't I be consistent? What's wrong with me? Your nervous system stays in threat mode, and a threatened brain doesn't create. It protects. Rest becomes scrolling. Focus becomes avoidance. Action becomes exhausting. You can't shame yourself into sustainable motivation. Part 6. What actually restores motivation? So if you're not lazy, what actually helps? 1. Shrink the battlefield. Motivation grows when tasks feel doable, not impressive, not perfect, just doable. Instead of, I need to completely change my life. Try, what's the smallest version of this I can do today? Your brain needs proof of progress, not pressure. 2. Reduce friction, not willpower. Stop asking, how do I force myself? Ask, how do I make this easier to start? Lay things out ahead of time. Remove distractions. Lower the entry point. Automate decisions. Motivation follows action when action doesn't feel like punishment. 3. Reconnect with meaning. If you don't know why something matters to you emotionally, motivation won't stick. Not the logical why. The personal one. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? What kind of life feels honest to me? What pain am I trying to move away from? And what fulfillment am I moving toward? Motivation grows when effort feels aligned, not imposed. Part 7. Rest is not the enemy. One more truth that needs to be said clearly. Rest is not laziness. Rest is strategic, necessary, productive. If you're constantly tired, unfocused, or numb, the solution is not more discipline. It's better recovery, sleep, mental space, unstructured time, moments without performance. Motivation returns when your system feels resourced. Part 8. Rewriting the story you tell yourself. The most dangerous thing you can do is label yourself as lazy. Because once you believe that story, every struggle becomes proof. Instead, try this reframe. I'm not lazy. Something in my system needs attention. Curiosity beats criticism. Understanding beats shame. When you change the story, you change how your brain responds. Closing. Call to reflection. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, why can't I just get it together? Pause. Ask instead, am I overwhelmed? Am I burned out? Am I afraid? Am I disconnected from what matters? Am I asking too much of myself without support? Because motivation isn't something you force. It's something you create the conditions for. And once those conditions change, you don't become a new person. You simply return to who you were before you started believing you were lazy. If you did, make sure like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. See you in the next video.